Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've come again. My name is Sasha Reed and I am a crafter, a bit of a craft addict. Today I'm showing you a video on some cards I made with my latest Alina crafts dies. I will link everything below so you can have a look if you would like to purchase them. So these are the dies I'm using, the square ones with hearts around the edges. I've used the smallest one in these cards. This is a set of cards that I made up using scraps and spare 6x6 bits of paper that all kind of matched. Did that at a play center while my kids were playing. It was fantastic. So I'm just showing you the process of how I made up my cards. So I've picked out some stamps that kind of fit a square punch that I have that can fit inside these squares. Here I've got some Stampin' Up! Ink, and I always stamp off first just to check what it looks like before I stamp it on my proper card, and I realize actually it's too juicy. All the ink is kind of smudging my words. So this is a trick that I do with my ink pads sometimes. These ink pads are very squishy foam, the Stampin' Up! Ones, so you can actually shift the ink from one side to the other. So you can see my ink pad getting lighter here. And I just use a plastic ruler that I can kind of wipe off after. And this bit of cloth it feels very rubbery. The name of it's just slipped my mind, but it's one of these magic cloths. They actually use it in the Olympics for drying the swimmers, is what I've been told anyways. They're quite pricey, but they're really good. I was just showing you there when I did the thumbs up that none of the ink comes on your hands, so you can wipe it all off, doesn't leave residue or fibers behind, and it doesn't leave any ink on your fingers. So I will try and link that below as well. I bought it off of Amazon. It is expensive, but what I've shown you is about 1/8 of the cloth. So I divided it with my friend Becky, and then I cut it up into 4. So here I'm just inking the edges so that it kind of blends in nicely with my little background square, and it's matching ink with the matching card, which is what I quite like to do. Then using some of my Tombow glue and sticking it down. I really love Tombow glue. It seems to work really well. Here I'm just adhering some foam squares to pop it off my card. And you can see in the top right I've got this massive spool of thread. That thread is from AliExpress. I love using it on the back of my projects to add a bit of dimension and character. This is metallic black. I seem to really only like the metallic colors, so I've got about 8 different metallic colors, and I'll link those below as well. And then I'm just adding some jewels to it to give it a bit more dimension and character, and there's my completed card. So I'm moving on to my second one now, which is more browns, and I decided actually I'm going to go with my favorite cardstock, the pearlescent. And then this is the Onyx Black VersaFine ink. So you do need to heat set it because it is more of a thick pigment ink, I think is what it's called. It's for embossing. So basically you need to dry that ink or it's going to start smudging all over the place on you. And here you can see I've got this is a brown, maybe dark copper, but more brown thread, and it's a metallic thread. You get an absolute ton on these rolls. They're about £2, £2.50, massive rolls. So it's worth possibly going in with a friend and saying, or maybe 6 friends, just saying, shall we buy a whole bunch of these rolls, and then just divide them up amongst yourselves because they are bargain, absolute bargain. So again, I've added the thread to the back, and now I'm adding some more jewels on a slightly different side. And these cards are really quick, really easy, and don't take many supplies, and they're quite effective. And so I thought, I'll do a Christmas one. Christmas is only finished a few weeks ago, but it's okay, we'll go for a Christmas one. And again, using my Stampin' Up! Inks that match with my Stampin' Up! Cardstock, which coordinate well with the papers on this card, which are actually from the Works I bought in the Christmas section. So here I realized that my stamp image was not stamping very clear. So you can see the differences here. One on the right is the one before I rubbed it, and the one on the left is the one after. And basically that rubber is a sand rubber or eraser, depending on which country you're in. And basically I heard this trick from someone that you can rub it over the top and it kind of roughs the surface and it gives you a clearer image. It's really great. So anyways, that's a cool little trick. This is using the Wink of Stella pen. And you can actually make these yourself for loads cheaper than buying them, and I will do a tutorial at some point on how you can do that. But I've just basically squidged them onto my lid of my pen and then just kind of flicked it all over my card. And now I'm just colouring the edges, so you can see there's a bit of sparkle, just to add a bit more character. I think you're going to get sick of the words character and dimension by the end of this video. I don't know. I have a very limited vocabulary and I have no idea how else to describe these things. I'm sure as time goes on, I will get a better grip of things. But anyways, here's a whole bunch of selection of bows. The big bows with sequins I got off of AliExpress. You can buy them in sets of the same colour. You can do what I've done and buy a random selection. You get kind of one of everything. So here I'm just mucking about trying to work out which bow looks the best and what do I like the most. And I decided on the dark grey and I use some glue dots. So you can either use glue dots or a glue gun. You could use liquid glue, but it'll take a long time to dry. So yeah, I'm sorry for all the ums. It's first thing in the morning and I'm a bit tired. My son's not sleeping well at the moment. There we go. There's the Christmas one. Yay! So here are some photos of all the cards I've done, which give you a better view. And I hope that you'll visit me again. In the next few days, I'm expecting a massive package from Alina with my whole next bundle of dies for January and February. So please do subscribe and keep your eyes on this channel because I have loads more to show you. I've also been having lots of stuff coming in from AliExpress. So thank you for joining me. Bye bye!